Hey YouTube, I wanted to real quick make a video. I get a lot of questions from people regarding hatchling corn snakes and why they won't eat. The number one reason is husbandry, and when I say husbandry I mean temperatures, I mean housing, everything in that aspect. The way I treat all my hatchlings is from the time that they leave the egg until either they're sold or their third shed. They live their life in a deli cup. This is one of my babies. This is an '09 hatchling. It's a het albino female here. This is a typical setup for one. You've got the snake. You've got just a piece of paper that I cut out in circle shape. I usually do this every couple of days. I'll check on my babies and stuff. Feed them. I feed every 4 to 5 days as they can tolerate it. What I mean by that, I'm going to turn over your water here, buddy. What I mean by that is simple. If you're noticing no defecation, then the snake obviously needs a little bit more time to sit and digest its food. If you go in, there is defecation or feces present, then usually the snake is ready. Other things to watch for in that are regurgitation. You obviously do not want your hatchlings, or any other snake for that matter, to be regurgitating its food. It's getting no nutrients, and it's also it's very bad for the snake. Obviously, it can cause upper airway problems and everything else. Something else to consider is the size of it. Most hatchling snakes, and I say most as in all of the corn snakes I know of, and I'm sure there's many others out there, they don't tolerate large enclosures very well from the time that they're little babies like that. They usually do well in small enclosures. That's why I keep mine in these 12-ounce deli cups. Not to mention the fact that they are also easier whenever you're dealing with lots of them in one small space. So obviously you do want something to where, you know, it's easy to take care of. Another aspect of it is heat. Also keep in mind, corn snakes do not need heat like your other snakes, your ball pythons, your retics, Burmese, anything like that that requires that tropical environment where they thrive on that warmth and stuff. These snakes do not need it. Upper 70s, low 80s, ideal conditions for these snakes. They can live just fine. The only indications of needing heat is usually signs of an upper airway problem, upper respiratory condition. Usually those babies will either have their tongue held out most of the time. They'll be kind of dragging their tongue out, have their mouth open sometimes. And in other extreme cases, you might see like a little discharge or a little bubbling around their mouth, which if that's the case, they usually do not make it. Those babies usually die. If you do see regurging, you might want to try putting them on a heat pad. Slightly larger enclosure than what they're in, so they can escape the heat pad if they need to or want to. And then, you know, usually 2 hides within the environment, so they have one on the hot side, one on the cool side, and just give them a little bit of heat. And usually that'll help them with regurg problems. That'll also help them with respiratory issues and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it, though. When it comes to hatchling corn snakes, they're not rocket science. They're usually pretty easy. You just got to make sure that you got your husbandry right. So if you have any questions or anything, feel free to contact me or leave me a comment. Thanks.